A Texas man is suing a California doctor in a first-of-its-kind lawsuit. The plaintiff accuses the physician of murdering his unborn children by mailing abortion pills across state lines. The doctor is accused of aiding two illegal self-managed abortions in 2024 after receiving payment via Venmo. Texas has one of the most restrictive abortion laws, with nearly all abortions banned in the state. Here to talk about it, Chief Legal Analyst Rhodes. Khalif, here, this is the first case that really marks illegally how far testing pro-life litigants can go to sidestep the blue state laws here.
Brian, this is a law school 101 examination, and there's so many things that you can look at. When the Supreme Court decided with the Dobbs decision that there was no constitutional right to an abortion, it opened up the doors for states to do whatever they wanted. So you got blue states trying to expand abortion rights. You got red states attempting to limit abortion access. And now you have this, at a fork in the road. I mean, it's really like an unmovable object, and and another one going right at each other, trying to figure out how we can get to some type of common sense here. Is probably going to be a hard process. And I can say it for a couple of things. You have state law, you have federal law, you have old laws, Comstock Act enacted in 1873. You have a number of things that you have to try to unpack. So we already can recognize that there's no constitutional agreement for it to be done on the federal level. So you have a state like Texas, limited, extremely limited. And I'm talking about the most extreme. California has opened up the door extremely wide on the other end. So this Texas man is saying, hey, I want to file a lawsuit against the California doctor. Why? Because Texas law, state law, says that I can do that. I can bring this claim against him, not against the individual, not against the person that used it, but a third party. However, California law has these shield laws that says, no, you can't. This is going to be an opportunity really to get this case in front of the Supreme Court. I don't think this Texas guy's case will be successful. However, the attorney that's bringing all the claims, I think this is just his attempt to try the defenses to get to the Supreme Court to have them address this specifically.
Yeah, you say that they do have a case. It's going to take a lot for them to prove to win this one, right?
I mean, you got to prove a number of things. First of all, let's talk about the Comstock Act. This is talking about mailing obscene information, and it does address talking about abortions, but they're talking about the material. So this was enacted when you're talking about pamphlets or letters or magazines, not the actual pills themselves. So first of all, the court's going to have to address that. Does the Comstock Act embrace and address medical pills being sent? Yeah, it talks about obscenity, and it does counter that. I think on the other side, the state issue, I think that it would be hard to find a California court that would give something called full faith and credit if this person is found to be liable in Texas to a Texas agreement. What that looks like normally is that if you file a lawsuit in Texas and I want to be able to say, you know what, you live in California and I want California to enforce this, they normally give you full faith and credit. They say, Texas court found you guilty, they found you liable, California is going to allow this person to get some type of enforceability. I don't think that will happen, specifically because California has these shield things in place to protect doctors. There are so many moving parts on this case. It's going to be a lot to unpack, but actually, once it gets to the Supreme Court, I think the answer is going to be easier. I think the Supreme Court wants to address this specifically and outlaw this telehealth type of access to medication specifically for abortions, because that's the leading access to get it right now.
See, the Supreme Court certainly leaning conservative on these type of matters. And all right, Chief Legal Analyst Rhodes, thanks.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.